Good morning. Life teaches us many lessons in our day to day life. It is up to us to analyze and try to keep them in our memory and apply them whenever and wherever they are applicable. This is more so when we do something wrong. We try to correct them or try to make some amends later. Particularly in situations when we do something wrong, it is very important to retain those lessons. If required, even with a magnifying glass, so that the magnitude is properly and firmly gets into the memory. Mr. Toastmaster, my fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, today I would like to share an incident that took place last summer. I was going for a walk beside Uvanita Bay. The nice breeze comes, a refreshing breeze from the lake. It's a very peaceful walk because no vehicles around, no sounds of vehicles. We only find bicycle riders, joggers, walkers walking their dogs, and very senior walkers, of course, walking with their walkers slowly. I walked for about 5 minutes. Then I found there is an overgrowth of bushes and plants beside the road, and there is a clearing inside to go through. I found people coming and going. I also got interested. I entered into that. It's a very narrow path for about 15-20 feet, just sufficient for two of us to go. But because of the growth of those plants, I was able to come very close to the flowers, which were giving a nice, sweet fragrance. Went ahead, it got widened into a regular path. It took me after about 200 feet to a viewpoint where they gave the names of some birds which normally visit that location. You can look down onto the lake. You find some ducks swimming there. You find some fish somersaulting. And somewhere from nowhere, a crane comes down and catches a fish. You can hear the nice chirping sounds of some other birds, which we were lucky they were visiting on that day. You can even hear the melodious tunes rendered by some of those birds. It's an excellent ambience. Before I reached that location, I met a very senior lady. Her face was very peaceful, serene and calm. I got interested. Just looking at her, I wanted her to meet her gaze. I stood still till she met. We each of us have seen each other. After I greeted her, she responded with a broad smile and went back. I spent a few minutes near that viewpoint I was referring to, then I was also coming back. Please let me call this senior lady as my mother. So as I was approaching that patch where I explained to you earlier, which was very narrow, there was my mother walking through that. I somehow wriggled my way just beside her, went ahead, looked back at her. Then I realized I did something wrong. I went to her and said sorry. Asked her what happened. She said, no, nothing concerning you. It's okay, just go ahead. I probed her further. Then she told me, actually I was not expecting you so suddenly in front of me. In fact, I was dreaming a story. So to some extent, you just shocked me. I said sorry once more and got ahead. I thought I forgot it, but no, I was not able to forget. First I thought I did something wrong. Then I was cursing myself. Then after some time, a guilt feeling set in. I waited for my son to come back from his work in the evening. I told him the story and told him how bad I was feeling. He listened and then brushed aside. Oh, Dad, I think nowadays you are tending to be too sentimental. Some of you also might feel the same way, but mind you, if you had seen the face of my mother on that day, you would agree with my feelings more. This is the stage where I meant, I was using a magnifying glass. I was trying to imagine how much of effort and time she must have taken to get ready and come on to the road. How much strain she had taken in that stretch of walk before she met me. And what happened after she met me. Because the shock, I am pretty sure that it must have lingered on her mind for quite some time after that. So for a day which she has earned, and I had no business to steal it from her, I spoiled her day after that. You might ask, okay, fine. Oh, you have seen with a magnifying glass. You learned some lesson. What is it you have done after that? I think I did something. Recently when I went to India, I decided I should help most of the people who are on my side of the road to cross the road. In my city, crossing a road is an adventure. I was happy I was able to get them through that adventure with no injuries. Toastmasters, I'll conclude after I answer that single query which is there in every one of your minds. Why did I tell you the story? The reason is plain and simple. If you do something wrong, you try to admit it in your prayers. I do it in a temple. A typical Christian does it in a church. He confides in a confession box. But I decided to do it slightly different in my case this time. I thought I will share and admit in front of a large group of friends whom I know well. Mr. Toastmaster,